Alrighty, quick movie review here of the movie Mission Cross. Hopefully, you guys can hear me. If I talk here, you can hear me, but if I talk here, I think you can hear me too. I don't know. Um, right off the bat, I liked it. I enjoyed it very much. It's an action comedy film, so it's got like comedic elements, like the main character's wife. Well, I guess she's the main character in her own right, actually. Mi Seong. Mi Seong is her name, and then her husband was like Junma, like Kang Junma, something like that. I'm gonna butcher it. It's a Korean film, a Netflix film, a Korean film featured on Netflix, and so I'm definitely gonna butcher your names. Apologies in advance, but yeah, like one of her coworkers has a car, and the coworker's car is like purple. It's like pink. Yep, actually it's not purple. It's pink. It's pink, and it has like crochet on the in like an interior. It's decorated with crochet. And then there's a scene, right, like because like he gets home, he can tell that the wife is suspicious of him, that he's doing something, and so the next morning because he tells her the night before, he says like, oh, I'm gonna go fishing because I need to clear my mind. I've been busy a lot, so I need to clear my mind. I need to go fishing. And so he actually like when he's gonna borrow the SUV, he does do that. He does put like fishing stuff in the back of the SUV, and and then we can see like the wife and her coworker are like hiding in his mom's car, and that's when we first get introduced to the gag, the joke. And then later in the film, when we get into the car again, because they need to borrow his car for something very important, the husband mentions to Mi Seong, he says to her, this car looks oddly familiar. And I like that she doesn't confirm or deny. She doesn't say anything, actually. She just keeps her mouth shut. This, he has to rescue some dude from the hospital that the lady that because she thinks he's having an affair. Everyone thinks he's having an affair, but actually we learned that his past, he's like a secret agent, and he has like a nefarious past that he didn't tell his wife about. Is that kind of like kind of a classic Hollywood trope, right? Your lover has a secret past that you don't know about, because he's like a house husband basically. And they even call him Wifey Keon, or however you pronounce his name, but they call him Wifey as a nickname because he essentially is like a housewife. He cooks, he cleans, he makes her breakfast in the morning. It's kind of funny. It's kind of cute too. And she's like a detective, and I guess he does have a job. He does, what's it called? Oh my god, what is it called again? What is it called? I'm trying to remember what that's called again. The school. He does like the school, picking up the kids and stuff, and it's so cute. It's like a van. It's not an actual bus per se. Well, I guess it's kind of like a bus. It's like a bus minivan type vehicle. Even has a little. It's like in Korean too. It's so cute. It's a little stop sign that you can pull out to say, hey, the kids are getting off. Don't you gotta stop your car so the kids can get off safely. But and that's another thing in the film. You can see they're older. They're like middle aged. The two people, right? But they don't. I don't think they have any kids actually. And I guess it makes sense if he was a secret agent before when he was younger, in his younger years, then he wouldn't have time to like have a family. So now that he's retired, and he has to retire actually because like reasons, no fault through his own, that he has to retire anyway. So I guess he had no intentions of having a family anyhow. But then he also has his photograph. Maybe there's something lost in translation with this film, because he also had this photograph of like a family, but we only see it one time. And then in that photograph, I think it was the lady, Suja, something like that, or Hiwuja, I think that's her name. That we turn out she's a snake, and she's actually General something. I forgot what the name was, but and yeah, I'm kind of all over the place. If you are listening, there's like the synopsis is not coherent at all. Things I liked in this film, though. Yeah, I like that dynamic that he's like a house husband, and the wife is she's like the main breadwinner. I like that, you know, she suspects that he's cheating because her coworkers were talking about, like, oh, we saw them on the bus stop, and there's a scene in the bus stop scene is they don't know what they're saying, but they like do a reenactment, and what they're reenacting is so dramatic and over the top, and maybe that's like an ode to the Korean dramas or something like that. And then how do you call? What was I thinking? In my head, that I like what one of the coworkers says to the wife, like, "Oh, why don't you just ask him if he's cheating on you?" And she's like, "No, I can't do that." She's adamant, "No, I can't do that." And because she's a detective, she does, like, I guess what's in her nature, detective work on her husband. And my dad mentioned this actually with the clothes, like, oh, the clothes can be like a good indicator of like his past. But then I remember the fact that like in South Korea, I think it's mandatory military service, and so that's something that I guess it would be expected actually, that if the guys folding the clothes like they do in the military makes sense, because how do you call what was I thinking? You know, it's, I guess, probably something you'll learn. Like every guy's gonna learn how to do that anyway, because you have to serve in the military in their country. If I'm not mistaken, it's like Switzerland, mandatory military service. Eritrea, I think Eritrea is also the same, and for like women too in their country, mandatory military service. But yeah, this one, it was funny. It was funny. It had like comedic moments. Um, and like I said, action too. And it's action, like, you know, there's blood and like you're shooting. Of course, they're like invincible to bullets. They can't get hit for anything. That kind of trope also exists, which I guess for the story, it just, you can't have it go the other way. And then if there is a person that survives the initial onslaught of violence, it's because they're a main actor, they're a main force in the film. And so, like, yeah, of course, you can't have this person killed off because we need, like, some story. And if you kill them off soon, then we don't have story with that individual. Yeah, it's a Netflix film. So if you have Netflix, you can check it out. And I definitely recommend you do. It's pretty funny. It's entertaining. It's, like, lighthearted, you know. Thank you for listening.